Thank you very much. Because I tried to extend your liberties, mine were curtailed. Because I tried to rear the temple of freedom for you all, I was thrown into the cell of a felon's jail. Because I tried to give voice to truth, I was condemned to silence. This is from an article by Karl Marx in the New York Daily, 25th of August, 1852, and he is quoting the representative of a jailed worker of the time. Judith Butler once said, "Our responsibility to resist war depends in part on how well we resist that daily effort at conscription." What she refers to as a righteous coldness is that which allows the spectatorship of suffering to go on unabated and uninterrupted. We have to be absolutely clear what is happening here. Julian Assange is not being punished for anything he has done wrong. He is being punished for everything he has done right. This is what they call no-touch torture, crucifixion in slow motion. And while Julian Assange is the instrument, what they are attempting to crucify is the truth, is the inner workings of the powerful. What he attempted to do was smash through the wall which has been created between us and the actions of governments who are supposedly acting in our names. Now, the function of this is to scare people away from crashing through those walls. But let me say this: the technology and the techniques that WikiLeaks used are not only the techniques of WikiLeaks. They are things that many people around the world are able to do. And why shouldn't we violate their digital walls when we know that the NSA has the ability to listen to our conversations, that we do not have a government that in any way, shape or form defends our privacy, defends our right to digital self-determination? So what I say to all of those out there who are looking at the example of Julian Assange, recently the case in Malta that struck me as having some relevance to the Julian Assange case was the son of the whistleblower who was assassinated there was asked, "What can you do to defend whistleblowers?" And he said, when they take that leap of faith, it is to act on the information they give us. So what I say to all of you is continue the work of Julian Assange, break their digital walls, make that information the property of the public. We have the right to see it, and we must continue to penetrate their invisible walls of secrecy. Now, it's well known that the existing extradition agreement between the United States and Britain completely discounts the possibility of extraditing somebody for political reasons. We also know that the Espionage Act in the United States is being used to prosecute Julian Assange. But if we look at the roots of the Espionage Act, we see clearly that it was designed to punish conscientious objectors in World War I in the United States. How can we forget, in the midst of the poppy celebrations that we went through just a few weeks ago, that there were around 20,000 people in this country who refused to fight in World War I. Tens of them were sentenced to death. 6,000 of them were imprisoned, and 80 of them died in prison. 34 of them were taken to France and sentenced to death. And it was only thanks to the intervention of Bertrand Russell and others, that they were able to reverse that decision and get the execution order taken away? Where are the Bertrand Russells of today? Where are those who are willing to stand up to the raw juggernauts that rule our society, to the unaccountable deep state? We look at the experience of Chelsea Manning, 2 suicide attempts in prison. We look at what is happening to Julian Assange, and we see the attritional psychological warfare that is being launched against this man. One of the important things that Chelsea Manning revealed was that the Department of Defense was actually taking on the role of US ambassadors in other countries, particularly during the Arab Spring, to the extent that a US ambassador even commented, "I am taking notes like a secretary in my own meetings." What this is about is the hollowing out of the state and the military-industrial complex and the deep state and the intelligence services being absolutely unaccountable, doing whatever they want, wherever they want, to whoever they want, and it must stop. This is a word to the stenographers who call themselves journalists. Those that have joined in this demonization of Julian Assange are like turkeys voting for Christmas. How much profit did you generate off of Julian Assange's 3 million cables that WikiLeaks revealed? In fact, there's probably thousands more stories that you can get from those cables as they are sitting there. And probably these very same publications that are demonizing Julian Assange will still be able to extract profit from the work that WikiLeaks took, that WikiLeaks did. My point is this, is journalists that are supporting this are like turkeys voting for Christmas. Today, Julian Assange, tomorrow, you. I'm not sure how long I'm meant to be speaking, so and we have a fantastic panel who I'm looking forward to hearing from. The point that I just want to drive home is we now are on the precipice of an election of like there has never been in the history of this country. We want a more forthright and clear position from the leader of the Labour Party on the plight of Julian Assange. Yes, but we also know something. We also know something else, and we can see it being played out in the case of Harry Dunn today. You have a greater level of receptivity in the opposition of the Labour Party. If that man gets into number 10, we know there is an ear open and there is the potential for reaction to public pressure. We have to do everything we can to thrust Jeremy Corbyn into number 10 and take the initiative to place pressure on the levers of power in this country to release Julian Assange. And please, let's set about deconstructing this horrific relationship that exists between the unaccountable deep state and the public. Our taxes are used to kill people all around the world. We need to stop that. Thank you very much.